Shalom from Israel. The book of Genesis in Hebrew is called Bereshit. Bereshit means in the beginning, the first three words of the book. I think it's wonderful that God chose to introduce himself to mankind as the creator. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And as Christians, we know that there's another book in the Bible that starts with these same three words. It's the book of John. And I want to read to you from chapter 1, verses 1 to 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and apart from him, nothing came into being that has come into being. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So as we're reading the book of Genesis, I think it's important to recognize that Jesus is there in the creation. Now, John did something interesting here. John was from the Hebrew culture. John was part of the first century, a group of believers that followed Jesus. And when he chose to write his book, he deliberately started with these three words because he knew that his listeners would immediately be transferred back to the book of Genesis, back to the beginning, to the very first three words that God used in his book to us. And he was clearly placing Jesus in the midst of creation. As we read our Bibles here in Israel, we see these kinds of links all the time because we are reading it through the eyes of the Jewish people that wrote the Bible, that presented the Bible as a gift to us, of course, inspired by the Holy Spirit. Now let's go back to Genesis and talk for a moment about the days of creation. Did you notice that they're numbered? Day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on. And this is interesting for me because the Jewish people today still do the same exact thing. So what we call Sunday is Yom Rishon, which means the first day. And Yom Shani is the second day, and so on. And you might say, well, that's kind of odd. Why don't they have names for the days of the week? Well, they do. They're just day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, just like the days of creation. Interestingly enough, we've received our days of the week from ancient times, and they're named after various pagan gods. Sunday is named after the sun god, and Monday after the moon god. Did you know that Jewish people are more likely to be married on Tuesday, that's the third day, than any other day of the week? Now, why would that be? Well, the facts are that God said it is good twice on day 3 of creation. And so even today, so many thousands of years later, Jewish couples are getting married on that day to honor God and to look for His blessing in their marriage. The Bible is full of these kinds of insights, and I hope that we will be able to bring many of them to you this year as we read through the Word together. If you haven't yet registered, go to www.ignitethetruth.com. Invite your friends. We're going to have a great adventure this year studying God's Word together. Bless you from Israel.